Case. The only time I ever went down was when the machine was easing at the wrong time.
A little caution would go...
It gets you killed, just like reckless driving. We're at 2.5 pounds. I got this.
Should I disable the feedback?
No. I need to feel the air. Here we go. Just water.
Stuff alive.
1,200 meters.
We have a fix on the beacon.
Got it. Can you maneuver?
I'm gonna need shapes and speed. I'm gonna spiral down on top of it. Everybody hang on.
700.
On my cue, Case. On my cue.
500 meters.
What's up, people?
Very graceful.
No. But very efficient. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Go, 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 go. 7 years per hour here. Let's make it count.
This way. About 200 meters.
Gravity's punishing.
Been floating through space too long?
130% Earth gravity.
Nothing here.
Should be right here.
There's signals coming from here.
Where's the rest?
Where's the mountains?
Those aren't mountains. They're waves. That was moving away from there.
We need the recorder.
Interstellar is a classic. Which kind of, I gotta figure out what kind of controller this is. Oh, I'm sure Bud will be around. There will be Bud. Bud! The star of the show! Are you the star of the show? Come here, jump into your bucket. Bud. It looks like this is a righty. Okay.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I wasn't talking to you. There will be Bud. Yes, there will be Bud. Always. What are you doing, Bud? You're not supposed to be like that. What are you trying to do? Bud Belly. Atari Basic better than Amstrad Basic? I don't know. Never used an Amstrad. What is it? Are you a mewing cat? It's necessary. Did you find the camera, bud? The internet is made of cats. Cats, 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 cats. The internet is made of cats. Christmas movies? Well, sure, you can talk about whatever you want. Oh, I see. Yeah, I recorded that video a while ago. It was right after I did that Adventure Island video. I just never got around to editing it. I've been trying to like get through all my unfinished videos. But usually it takes like a lazy Sunday before I get a chance. Still trying to get Evil Dead across the finish line. Pinball project I can now talk about since it's been announced. Where did Bud go? Meow. Are you a whiny wimp? Meow. Are you a Christmas cat? No, I'm just plain yogurt. Bud, are you going to discover the true meaning of Christmas? That's a good question, Farpoint Station. Maybe that's what he ejected in Natasha Yar in that one episode. What is it, Bud? Don't you want to go to your home? Hoping that the next leap would be the one home. Do 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 do. Pulse pounding controller action. I don't think I can teach Bud to solder or do anything for that matter. All he knows how to do is mew. He doesn't like cats? But he had a cat. Maybe he was secretly allergic to Spot. Bud, what are you doing down there? No one can see you be cute down there in space. No one can hear you mew. Classic gaming days. Wow, that goes way back. Yeah, many years ago. Many, many years. Let's see, so we need a hole here and one over here. Did anyone see our Evil Dead featurette where I did impressions of Sean Connery? They're in the outtakes, but they left them in. It's the authentic Ben Heck experience. Let's see. Righty trigger. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. And I'm still low on springs. No springs! The firing pin of that gun? That's right, zinc! Oh, zinc! Come back, zinc! Well, at least I can read Braille. Bud. Where are you, Bud? Did someone fall into the well? Butter and meatloaf. Yeah. I'm Mikey, the Mike Sock Sprite. Oh, Jesus. What's that you say? I didn't say anything. You got your wish. Uh-huh. Is there a hellish imp for everything? I don't know. Does anyone have any questions about our new pinball machine since I can now talk about it? Bud is always flattering. Well, mostly. Brass life hack. I think I did work in a Bud reference in the new pinball. I think it's something like, "Hey Bud, you look like something a cat threw up," or something like that. Pretty sure it's in there. I can't remember. We just got like the second batch of dialogue today. So, although it doesn't sound like they pre-normalize it, so I gotta do that yet. Delicious fumes. Oh, zinc! Why, do you know that your average car has over 600 springs in it? I thought Bruce did a good job. Ash is always like pretty understated. Looks like we got it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it is $9,999. They are very expensive. But it's made in America. All right, turn off the desoldering iron. Let's get the adapter. Suitably sycophantic. Yeah. Probably overtly sycophantic, actually. So, thanks. We couldn't talk about S-Mart because that's from the third movie. The third movie is like, well, all three movies are different licenses, but the third movie was a license too far. That movie was made, that was actually a studio film. It was made by Universal. But then for some reason that movie is not owned by MGM. I don't know why. And then MGM got bought by Amazon a while back, which also complicates things, so. Army of Darkness is my favorite, but I think it'll be fine without that. So have the first two movies. Did I do all the voice acting? No, I didn't do any voice acting on that. I mean, I might do like a Deadite voice, but I haven't put that in yet. But we do have like 100. We have like a whole movie's worth of dialogue. Probably more than a whole movie because Bruce doesn't say a whole lot in those movies. He just kind of like walks around and looks at things. also gave him a couple of Duke Nukem lines to make up for the fact that Duke Nukem stole lines from him and They Live. Yeah, Army of Darkness is great. Like all the stop motion skeletons and stuff. That was also the first Evil Dead movie I saw. Probably a lot of people were like that. Regardless of the stolen lines. Yeah, they should make like a new Duke Nukem. It would be kind of like Austin Powers, where like he's like completely like out of his element in like the modern world, and then he saves the day anyway. Like, Duke, you're a relic from a bygone era, and it takes you decades to get everything done. Well, I don't care. I'm Duke Nukem. Groovy. LGR Clint. Oh, yeah. Well, John St. John is a radio DJ, so there's a local rock station, WJJO, and a lot of the stingers are John St. John. So be driving down the road and be like, "You're listening to WJJO. Rock on." And it's like, "Oh, it's Duke." Oh, that's cool, David. You know, it's only inevitable that they make another Austin Powers. I mean, why wouldn't they? Damn, I'm gonna get those alien bastards for canceling me. Is that where the name John St. John comes from? This is taking forever. List of Duke Nukem radio stations. Ask your favorite AI to generate. Oh, another Christmas vacation. Well, like an ancient Chevy Chase. That would be almost as dumb as making a Indiana Jones movie with an 80-year-old Harrison Ford. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. I wonder if the new Indiana Jones game will be any good. I thought about maybe streaming it for the charity stream, even though that's would be well after the game's release. Damn, the glue leaked. Let's get this big guy back into action. Did they make like a reboot of the vacation movies with like Ed Helms or something? One of those reboots that no one cared about. Kind of like the Total Recall reboot. It's like, sorry, Len Wiseman. You're not Paul Verhoeven. Why should we make a Total Recall remake? You'll get to see Kate Beckinsale fight Jessica Biel. Oh, it might be alright. Who are we kidding? It'll still suck. It's too bad they didn't wait and make like a better RoboCop remake. That would actually be like kind of socially and technologically relevant. I mean, they had a great cast for that movie, but this kind of blew all the potential. It was pointless. The 3-boopy lady again. Oh, yeah. Well, this time you got to up the ante. She's going to have 4 boobs. Well, they probably wouldn't do that because then she would look like a cow. Star Wars Episode 10? Ugh, no. How about no? Not too late. Disney could have Matthew Vaughn make a Star Wars movie. That's who they should have gotten to begin with. Because Kingsman, the first one was like a fairy tale. It's like, I think he would get it. "80-year-old Han. I'm 80 years old, and I'm still wearing the same clothes as I did in my 30s. Still think the dumbest thing in The Force Awakens was when Leia was like, Chewie, best friend just died, pfft, screw him. I'm going to hug this random woman I've never met. Ugh. Well, she probably didn't hug Chewie for the same reason she didn't give Chewie a medal. Because she's like 2 feet shorter than him and it would have looked ridiculous. That could have been funny though. She could have went up and hugged him, then like it would be like this touching moment, then cut to a wide shot and like, you know, she's 2 foot shorter than him. See, George Lucas should go in and digitally fix that. That's much worse than anything he fixed in the original trilogy. Leia hugs first. Oh, John St. John was at MGC? Oh, that's cool. I'm Duke Nukem. The Red Hulk. Yeah, God. You know, I think the Disney company would be in better shape if they would just make movies once instead of like 10 times. Yeah, because Harrison Ford is General Thunderbolt, isn't he? Now in the new canon. Wasn't Sam Elliott General Thunderbolt in the Ang Lee version? You know, as much as I love Indiana Jones, I mean, as far as actors go, I don't know, Sam Elliott's pretty cool. I'm gonna stop that Hulk. That Hulk is one mean green mother. Well, I did finally watch Deadpool and Wolverine. I wasn't terribly impressed, although it was cool that Blade came back. And Jennifer Garner stopped making Capital One commercials long enough to be in a movie. What is it? Are you a mewing Mew Master? Look at this convenient slit they left us. They left that wormhole for us there, Murph. Murph! We're gonna have this one character turn evil. His name is Dr. Man. Get it? Oh, yeah, great. I have mixed the DNA of all the world's most dangerous creatures to make the most dangerous animal of all. Turns out it's man. There's only ever going to be one Blade. Yeah, Marvel spent like 3 years not making a new Blade movie. They might as well just make one with what's-his-face. Because the new Blade, Mahershala Ali, he's only like 11 years younger than Wesley Snipes. So, just put Wesley Snipes in it. Who cares? I mean, Wesley Snipes was completely phoning it in by the time he made Blade 3, but, you know, he probably still has to pay off that IRS money. Hey, Ryan Reynolds was in Blade 3. I'm surprised they didn't work a Mint Mobile reference into Deadpool and Wolverine. That would have been funny. mean, they had a trillion other references. Why not? The IRS is running out of money. Yeah, just wait till they start that $600 thing. That's have fun with that, IRS. Not exactly sure how that helps COVID, because that was in one of those COVID bills. You know what I think is dumb about taxes? It's like, it's all tracked. So why do we even need to do our taxes? Like, don't they already know everything? Well, I mean, I have to do like profit and loss, like projects like this, for instance. Kind of a pain in the butt. Let's see here. Okay, so I think I got this wrong last time. Right up. It's above. Okay, so this one is here. Yeah, I think that's the one I got backwards last time. Yeah, they kind of made that harder too. Like when they when they federalized student loans as part of the Affordable Care Act, that magically also made it so student loans could not be discharged in bankruptcy. Well, I guess before they were, well, the losses were protected by the federal government, but because now student loans, like back taxes, that is debt owed to the United States Treasury, which cannot be discharged ever. Dun dun dun. Yeah, I don't know where Bud went. Bud. He's like Blade. He's like Wesley Snipes making Blade 3. He's like, I'll be in my trailer for the entire movie shoot. Just have my stuntman do it. I think there was a Patton Oswalt sketch about that, because Patton Oswalt was also in that movie. And he's like, people ask me what it was like working with Wesley Snipes. He's like, I don't know. He spent the whole movie in his trailer. I don't think there's enough gold in the world to save us now. That's kind of miffed, like gold was doing so well, but then it actually fell off big time after the election. I recently got into gold. Then I lost it all in a boating accident. Oh, I better double check that one. You know, I would totally be 100% okay with, like, the federal government paying for college, but it would have to be like, hey, we don't have enough doctors right now, so if you want to be a doctor, we'll hook you up, or engineers or something like that. Because really, it would be the government making an investment in its country's future, and yeah, you would want people to be doing things that we need. Alright, let's see. So, the one on the left is L3, which means the bumpers go to the right like this. La, da, 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 da. Well, I think if you want a BS degree, that's cool. Just hope your daddy's rich. Then go for it. Well, it's something they don't talk about. Like, in countries where they do pay for college, like Germany, they also kind of pre-filter the kids and be like, okay, well, you know what? You're probably best for a vocational school. So a 4-year Bachelor of Arts degree or something, you know, you're probably better off, like, learning to be a plumber or something. God, it's starting to sound like the first act of Interstellar. No wonder Casey Affleck was so upset. Like, his dad hated him. I don't care about you, son. I only care about Murph. You know, the other thing that bugs me about the college tuition thing is, with what we spent on that lockdown, we could have paid off all U.S. credit card, auto, medical, and student loan debt. ... Twice. Now that would have been worth the inflation. Yeah, I think I need a little bit more solder here. Murph. Well, I guess his daughter was angry with him, so as she became an adult, she was filled with Murph. Huh? No. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. Oh, I'm already zoomed out. Yeah, remember that viral video of that lady that worked at Twitter and she just like spent the whole day like drinking wine? So, yeah. I mean, Twitter still works with about 20% of the staff. See, the problem with government spending is so much of our economy is based on government spending. If they ever like, even if they cut 20% of it, it would have catastrophic effects on our economy. Not just that, but the private sector would have to be able to absorb all those displaced workers, which would make the problem even worse. It's kind of like a fat person. Like, the fatter they get, the more calories they have to continue to eat every day, just because they're already fat. Bud, what are you doing? Why are you scratching my chair when you could be a sleeping beauty? Come here, I'm going to put you into a glass coffin. Wait, was that... Wake up and go to sleep. Whoa! Now he's in the back of my chair. Bud. What are you doing up there, Bud? Nobody can see you up there. That's the only reason they tune in. It's 9 o'clock. Did everyone have a good Thanksgiving? Hot X-Acto action. Well, hopefully none of it involves my thumb. The urgent care isn't open this time of night, so you could add an extra 0 to the cost of that accident if it happened. Oh, you're still working on Thanksgiving leftovers? I went to my mom, so she has all the leftovers. And my niece called me a hippie because I complain about plastic bags and I live in Madison. And I'm like, well, plastic bags or plastics aren't very recyclable. Oh, Bud. There's like a Dunkin' Donuts in my hometown now. That was weird. town like 5,000 people and there's a Dunkin's now. I think I had a bit of a bug on Thanksgiving. I think I might have infected my niece. Probably got it when I was at the hospital last week visiting my aunt. Hospitals are a great place to get sick. But I did get to see all the weird old architecture in Rockford, Illinois. And they had an iron lung there, too. They're like, oh yeah, we just stopped using that last week. And I visited my dad's brother, who is very old. Definitely well into dementia. Actually, the aunt I visited in the hospital is getting that way too. It kind of sucks. She was always like the sharpest, snappiest, most perverted aunt of mine, and I mean, she's just started to get into it, so she's just a little forgetful. It's not too bad yet, but you can kind of tell. But I guess that's life. She's 79? Yes. All they have is a Subway. Subway is like the cheapest franchise to possibly buy. That's why there's so many of them. It's really, really cheap. But they're also like the least profitable franchise to buy. Like an average Subway, I want to say they only net like $200,000 a year or something laughable like that. And that's net. So like even the owners probably can't pay themselves very much. The most profitable is Chick-fil-A. Like apparently Chick that's why there's, well, yeah, I guess it's opposite end of the coin. Like, yeah, the per store revenue of Chick-fil-A is like, it's like double of your average McDonald's. It's pretty insane. Everyone always seems like, well, I don't go there very often. I don't really care for it that much, but whenever I go there, everyone's like overly chirpy. It's like some sort of like, it's like a movie Mormon or something. I know it's not Mormons, it's Christians, but I don't know. For some reason, I make that inference. All about the Mormons. Hey, they're making an iron lung movie with Markiplier as the guy in the iron lung. The video game, not the medical device. I came across this YouTube video, like apparently the last guy in an iron lung only died a couple years ago, and he was in an iron lung for like 50 years. Like up until like 2021. It's crazy. Louis Rossman as a Jehovah's Witness. Hey everybody, I've got these Watchtower magazines. Hello? Hello? Huh, doesn't sound like anyone's here. Well, we better go to the next house. Did you know only 212,000 MacBooks will make their way into heaven? That's because the PPU bus will be fried because it's right next to a 50-volt line. Making pretty good progress here. That's usually when the ground falls out from underneath your feet. Bud, are you a mountain lion? Now people can see you. Now they can't. Okay, what was the stupidest sequel title in Hollywood history? Was it A, Now You See Me 2, instead of calling it Now You Don't, or A Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghosts of Georgia? Looks good. Yeah, the Packers are doing pretty good, although a lot of people in the division are doing pretty good. So despite that, they might not get very good placement in the playoffs. I think they'll definitely make the playoffs. Then they'll screw it up as usual. Bud. One paw down, Bud. Yeah. The number one thing people see if they meet Bud in real life is, oh my gosh, he's huge. He is losing weight though, his new food. Exactly 265 calories a day, just like the vet wanted. You can, well, I mean, obviously he's still big, but like around his hips, you can kind of see it. Although he did stop growing the last visit, so apparently he topped out at 17 pounds, which is still pretty big. Bud, are you bigger than a lot of the dogs in this neighborhood? Could you beat them up? I bet you could. Killer Bud. Yeah, if you see like Bud like on the back of a chair, you can kind of get a better sense of the scale. Speaking of that, I'm going to use the restroom. I'm going to use one upstairs. Come on, bud. But no one will watch if you're not around. Bud Cam. Unregistered. Yeah, Bud follows me everywhere. Most of the time. Well, yeah, even if he's asleep, if I move, he follows me. He'll wake up and follow me. Because he's always like, oh, the kitchen. That's where the foods is. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Carry him around at ceiling height. Yeah. Yes, I do have a few cans of High Life here. 9:19. Yeah, maybe I'll get an early sleep tonight. Oh, I'm jinxing it. Yeah, they wanted me to add a feature to Evil Dead before it ships. They're starting to build them now, actually. And I think probably around New Year's. But I told them I was going to take the week after Christmas off, so I've got to deliver them shippable code by Christmas. Although it's already pretty good. I just need to polish it for a few more weeks and add a few more things. Like the second half of the Bruce speech, I guess I gotta. That's going to take a while. There's a lot of it. Come here, bud. The counterfeit greenies did not fool him. I was born with greenies, molded by them. A free machine? Usually they do give one to the programmers. I did ask them if I could get a production unit, because mine was a prototype. So I've had the geez, I started in like February, so actually come together pretty quickly. But I would like a production. Well, obviously I like it because it's Evil Dead, but I mean, I'm going to continue to do updates and modes and polish for probably another year yet. So I would like a more production-y machine for that, because mine's gotten a little beat up. And well, again, it was a prototype. I mean, it's like, it has most of the playfield art, but yeah, the mechs on it aren't the final production mechs. I mean, they work good enough to program. A debug machine? Well, I mean, there's other prototype units. I just have the first one. So, of course, mine is like the oldest one with like the most jank. And I still have the Texas Chainsaw game here too, because they still want some more updates for that. Like, they want me to do add a mode or something for that for the Texas Pinball Festival, which I will be attending as well. So if anyone is going to TPF, you can stop by and say hi. In Frisco, Texas, which is the north side of Dallas. Hey, maybe I could... Oh, it's on the other side of town. I was going to say, I could go to the 8-Bit Guys Arcade. But, oh man, yeah, I had to drive across the entire town to do that. Hello, Sideburn Studios. Yeah, there's some car company that commissioned a giant pinball machine. I don't know if they used a bowling ball, but it was very large. It was like 2 or 3 stories tall. Well, at an angle. I don't know. Programming pinball for 2.5 years kind of makes me not care about it anymore. It's always what happens. Plato was full of it. The philosopher, not the modeling clay. Although, who knows, maybe he was equally salty. Dana Plato? She's equally dead. It reminds me, I met Tom Zito at a video game convention once, many, many years ago. One of the first ones I ever went to, the classic or retro classic gaming expo. And we actually talked about Dana Plato. Remember, she was in Night Trap. Night Trap, don't look behind you. Night Trap, do-do-do-do-do-do. You'll get caught in the night. Night Trap. What the heck happened there? Yeah, it was something like that, Counter. What I heard it was actually a cable TV game system, or it was reworked a couple times. And there would be 8 channels of video running simultaneously, and you'd switch between them, which is why Night Trap works the way that it does. I think Sewer Shark was also designed for that. And that's also why Night Trap seemed dated, even for when it was released, because it was made in like the late 80s. And then I think it got ported to the Sega CD in like, what, 93? Yeah, those Sega CD games are cheesy fun. I got some stuff in there. It's not all strictly legal, but it might just keep you off the wall. Now, until you earn a better one, your call sign is dog meat. Shoot the tubes, dog meat. How do you want my character to be? We want you to be halfway between Michael Biehn in Aliens and Bill Paxton in Aliens. I'm your man. I'm the Wish.com Bill Paxton. Steven Spielberg's Mexican non-union equivalent. Steven Spielbergo. They probably could have got Bill Paxton. He'd be like, I'll do it. I'm not really a big star yet. Well, it's either this or I could be a next of kin for 5 minutes and get killed by Ben Stiller. Yeah, I remember once I figured out how to play Sewer Shark, I was actually able to get to the end. Because when Catfish would be like, there's a whole mess of bogeys at 6, 9, or 6. And that's like cardinal directions, or clock directions. And then what you have to do is you have to like take the 6, 9, or 6 tunnel. So you got to go like down, left, down. And if you do the sequence, then you don't crash, basically. But yeah, I assume they had all those possible tunnel combinations or also death combinations as a series of videotapes or video feeds. So as long as you kept going on the right path, you would probably not see the death animations, but then the wrong paths would have a death animation. It'd be very much like the time when Morty had the rewind button on Rick and Morty, and he could jump to like different realities, and it turns out he was killing tons of people. Like you would constantly jump to like a branch where you weren't crashing into the sides of the Sewer Shark. We need a game for our system. What if we made Top Gun? Oh, I like it. In the sewers! Huh? That was the pitch meeting. It's like Top Gun in the sewers. Why is it in the sewers? Well, no, it'll be a lot cheaper that way. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, no, they did make it. What was it? Tomcat Alley. That was a FMV jet game they made. That was on the Sega CD as well. Yeah, so see, there's no reason for Sewer Shark to be in the sewers. So what was your inspiration for Sewer Shark? Well, last week I was at the theater watching Top Gun, and I was thinking, you know what would make this movie even better? If it took place in a sewer. Oh, yeah. Pickle Bud. You know, I think, you know, speaking of sewers, you know what's really ironic? This is going into some super deep lore, but if you ever want to go down a really fun rabbit hole, go on YouTube and look up Wilkins Coffee. WILKIN''S. It was like some of the first work ever done by Jim Henson back in the 50s. So it's like, it's basically Kermit the Frog like constantly murdering this other character because he doesn't drink the right brand of coffee. And it's ironic because then like decades later, Jim Henson was like, well, you know, the Ninja Turtles movie that we made the suits for, it was way too violent. But then you watch the Wilkins commercials and like Kermit's like has a gun and he's shooting the other guy. He's like, don't you want to try some Wilkins coffee? No, I hate Wilkins coffee. Well, I guess you'll never get to try it now. Yeah, there's a whole rabbit hole you can jump into with that. I'd highly recommend it. They're pretty funny. That's super sadistic. My favorite one is where, well, the guy he fights is Watkins. That's like the blob creature. And my favorite one is like, Watkins is like, I'm going to drink this coffee and it's not Wilkins. And then Kermit runs him over with a steamroller. And what does he say? It's like, I can't remember how that works. It's just the way it starts. I'm going to drink this coffee and it's not Wilkins. Oh, and then he says, doesn't that coffee leave you kind of flat? Yeah. It was pretty cool. All right, now time for the dastardly D-pad. Yeah, Community Coffee was one, and they did like bread ones too. So you would see like the same gag, but it would be for like several different products. So they'd have like Wilkins Coffee, Community Coffee. Then they had like, I think they had like chewing tobacco and like bread, but it would be the same gag. It would be like, this bread will be the first bread in space. Community Coffee still exists. Like, some of the ads, there's a different voice for, like, the frog character, but most of them, he talks exactly like, well, I assume it's Jim Henson. He talks exactly like Kermit the Frog. See? If it wasn't for Wilkins Coffee, Labyrinth would never exist. And Jennifer Connelly would be a nobody. She'd be like, I'm a nobody. I'm not in Top Gun. There, I brought it back to Top Gun. You know, Labyrinth was actually about a young woman navigating the labyrinth of puberty. That was the secret message. And even if you didn't understand it, your brain did. There, Red Letter Media reference. I'm sure George Lucas was like, well, I made Star Wars, which was the male hero's journey, so now let's make the female hero's journey. And it's kind of the same except for you have to tame the masculine. which is going to be David Bowie. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Oh yeah, the coffee commercials are great. There, quite a few of them, like, he just straight up murders the other guy, usually with pistols. Or they'll be like in an airliner, and Kermit the Frog will be the stewardess, and he'll be like, "You want some Wilkins coffee? No, just let me out for the next town." And then it shows him kicking him out the door. Next town is 5 miles straight down. All right, looks like the D-pad works. Hey, that one was pretty fast. What, like, man, that was quite fast. Like, what, an hour and 15 minutes? What? Do you want some Wilkins coffee? You better, otherwise you'll get murdered. What? Everybody likes Wilkins coffee. Jump in your box. Hey, that one wasn't jinxed this time. I still have 1.5 beers left. What is it? Meow? Jump in your box. Come here, bud. Do you not like the bubble wrap, maybe? I will use it for this controller. Comes with free, authentic bud hair. They can clone an annoying orange cat of their very own. Meow. Where are you going? Oh, I got you. You are large. Are you the largest cat on the street? I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. Yeah, it's probably because I kind of ignored chat and just did it for like the first 45 minutes. Oh. I started collecting parts for the next MGC thing. We're going to do the same project again one more time. Hello, Chip Dippers, and welcome to another project sponsored by PCBway. PCBway sponsors wonderful parts, and I got them all from PCBway.com. Except for I selected the wrong solder air leveling, and now there's solder on the tack switches. Looks like I cleaned up a bunch of these. So yeah, we're going to do just 25 slots this year. Follow-up song to Kitten Jail. Yeah, when I was going through my folders, trying to finish off my old videos, I do have a folder for Bud Video 2. It's either going to be... well, I'm kind of leaning toward... it's going to be like... Betty Davis eyes, but it's Christian Dunst eyes, just because it's like so strangely esoteric. Because like when Bud has like a dopey look on his face, he kind of looks like Christian Dunst. So I would find that funnier, just because it's like esoteric and like, what? Yeah, so these are what we did for 2013 and 2024. These boards, these were donated by PCBway. I think they gave me 100 of them, so we used a bunch earlier this year, and then I gave away quite a few at the Vintage Computer Fest, but there's still more left, obviously. I guess I could clean up the solder while I'm drinking my beer. Well, no, these are from PCBway, although I have used JLC PCB in the past. They work fine, too. PCBway was asking me to, like, do another project, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what I would do. Like, I spend so much of my time programming now, which kind of sucks because I used to enjoy programming for fun, but now I'm less likely to do that. Oh, the irony. Let's go 700F. Doesn't AVE have a term for F degrees? He calls it something snarky, doesn't he? This one actually looks pretty good. I am the eye in the sky, looking at you. I can read your mind. Good enough for government work. Ah, Bobby Dazzler. Anyway, we're going to do one session of 25 because I have enough parts for that. So that'll be on the Friday of MGC. And the price is the same. Actually, I think we might be able to make it ever so slightly cheaper this year. Let's see if I can get it down to $60 a person. Inflation Buster Specials! The only way to beat inflation is with a monorail. Yeah, I think, he does call it Frankenstein. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. See how this chooches. All right. Does anyone know what that guy's day job is? He's really, really smart. I can never quite put my finger on it. He is way, way, way smarter than I am. But I have an advantage. I live in America. See how she chooches. See, I do this now because if we try to make people do it on the day, they'll never get their switches flat enough and they won't fit in the case. So it's my mistake, so I'm fixing it. How many pinball machines have I worked on now? I worked on America's Most Haunted. Well, I did the Bill Paxton pinball. Then I worked on America's Most Haunted. I worked on the Rob Zombie game, Alice Cooper. And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was also designing one for a Chicago gaming company, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. That was another license theme. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 of which are actually production machines. And they want me to do another one, so I might do one more. I mean, obviously it's super cool writing dialogue for Bruce Campbell, so I mean, how could I say no? We gave him all sorts of really dumb dialogue and wrote Ash like a total a-hole and total a-hole idiot. And he's got some lines from Posthumous Man, Roadhouse, all sorts of inside jokes in there. Toys R Us is trending. Did Elon Musk? He's like, I'm gonna bring back Toys R Us for some reason. Let's bring back RadioShack. There you go. There's a question for the chat. Like, what defunct company or chain would you most want to see back? I used to love going to Circuit City. Yeah, I seem to recall they had like a really good like loyalty program. Can't remember what it was, but that's where I bought my first big screen TV from. Oh, I've got one. Probably not what you'd expect. Bed Bath & Beyond. I would always buy house stuff at Bed Bath & Beyond because they had good stuff. See, my garbage cans in my kitchen are from Bed Bath & Beyond. But now it's dead. Alright, let's see. So that's 12. They focus too much on the beyond. Kind of like how RadioShack focused too much on cell phones. You got commissions on the batteries? Well, I would explain why they pushed them so hard. Wait, why did I do that? Oh, because it was fun. Ooh. Well, history repeats itself. Like, Amazon is trying to be the new Walmart. They just want to, like, run everyone out of town. Well, I had to go get a... It was weird, like, on my sit-stand desk, I've had both, because there's dual monitors on it, I've had both of the DisplayPort cables break. So I guess they can't take that many cycles of going up and down. I tried to strain relief them. I guess I didn't do it well enough. But anyway, so I had to like go get a cable. Like, well, of course I went to Menards first, but they didn't have any in stock. Normally they do. So I'm like, oh crap. So I went to Best Buy. Thankfully it was before Black Friday. It was like on Wednesday. But they had like a mountain of TV boxes in there. And it was like $30 for a 10-foot cable. It's like, oh, well, this is... Well, the thing is, yeah, that, you know, that's what they're making the actual margin on, not the TVs they're selling. But eventually they will fall. It is a mathematical certainty. And there are many times of the week you can go into Best Buy, there's more employees than customers. I mean, I don't know if I ever would have like got into like electronics or had much exposure to it if we hadn't had RadioShack when we were a kid, because you could go there and get like diodes and LEDs and like those electronic hookup kits, you know, that you had as a kid. I still have mine from when I was like 7 or 8 years old. It's upstairs. After all these years. 14. Yeah, mine was like the 30-in-1 solar power kit. I think it had like a crystal radio program you could do and beepers and stuff. Oh, that could be a fun video, like make a circuit with one of those old kits. Oh man, I remember what you're really paying for when you go to RadioShack is the real estate. Whereas Amazon can build a warehouse out in the field. $16. Yeah, my ancient screwdriver. This is from RadioShack. I probably was like 9 or 10 when I got that. I still use it. Every time I build something, I use it. For, jeez, almost 40 years. Bud, can you imagine 40 years? That's right, you won't. You won't live that long. She won't live that long. Then again, who does? This is using up a lot of copper. $20. Soaking the desoldering braid in flux? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Although I think it already has flux in it. The bigger the glob, the bigger the job. Steel wire alligator clip. Yeah, didn't that woodworking guy just do a video about those? Like he called them fake wires. He said they have a ton of resistance. Bud, are you accomplishing your job of being cute? Gutter oil wires. Yeah. Oh, so gross. $24. See you later, Commodore. Groovy. Yeah, if you like ASMR, you would love retro recipes because it's like this British guy with a very calm, smoothing British voice. And he always says, "Hello, chip dippers. Welcome back to Retro Recipes." I always said it was funny. You look at his comments section and he's like, "When are you two gonna have a kid? You would make a beautiful baby." I think they did have a baby. Yeah, where is 8-Bit Guys Arcade? Is it in, I assume it's in Fort Worth? That's like the other side of town where I'll be. That would be a long, long, long drive. EEV blog ASMR channel. Open carry. Yeah, he is kind of a gun nut. I don't know why. What are you going to protect her from? Bears? Sounds like he lives in like Compton or something. Oh no, the mean streets of Fort Worth, Texas. All right, that should be 28 units. Which would give me 3 extra. Well, I'll give me 2 extra because I need one to solder myself for the demonstration. Yeah, so it'll probably be like the Friday of MGC, probably like around 1 o'clock. Because, well, the last couple of years we would do 2 sessions, but the morning session always sold out way slower than the afternoon, so I was going to split the difference and do like 1 session of 25 instead of 2 of 20. Plus, I haven't updated. This will be like the 3rd year in a row we do the same project, so I'm sure there's only so much gas in this tank. Gun nuts aren't as monolithic as some people might think they are. There's plenty of Democrats who are gun nuts, for instance. I know some. And I personally don't see the point of carrying, but whatever. To each his own. He's in Texas. He can do whatever he wants. Back to the AR-15. Yeah, because you never know when McDonald's might pop off. John McClane, you got to fight the terrorists in McDonald's. I got shoes that won't fit my grandmother. Oh yeah, 8-Bit Guy's like an open carry guy, isn't he? I forgot about that. Maybe he doesn't like the way it fits in his pants. Well, probably going to wrap this up here in a minute because I desoldered all the boards. Yeah, I think you're right, Radman. That does ring a bell. I mean, in most states, open carry is... How do I put it? Like, you don't need a... Well, again, in most states, you don't need a permit to open carry. You just like... Well, you know, you look like you're dragging a gun around. Because that concealed carry is where, like, you actually need a permit in most places. Although also in most places, if you're like, you know, walk into a gas station with a visible firearm, people are probably going to get upset. Because it's, you know, it's private property. All right, looks like we're ready to go. I did get a Pico 2. I haven't done anything with it yet. I was actually spent a good amount of time yesterday trying to recover... when my RAID 0 computer died, the only thing of consequence that I lost was the ILI 9341 drivers I was writing for the Raspberry Pi Pico using like PIO and DMA. I had it going really fast. I had it doing like 2 millisecond fill times. But I think it was like the Arduino or something else like doesn't like compiling over a network. So I just had all the test stuff on my desktop, and that was lost. That was really the only thing that I lost that I needed. So I had to like kind of go back and like look at my... Well, I mean, I had stuff on my server, but I had to like go look at my data sheets and try to retrace my steps, because that was like 5 or 6 months ago that I was working on those drivers. Because I want to do one of these with like a ILI 9341 8-bit guy parallel screen that's 320 by 240. because these are SPI. But if you do 8-bit parallel with the PIOs, you can DMA to them with the Pico very quickly. Like you can actually, like, well, if it's 16 bits per pixel, you can DMA 32 bits at a time. So you can DMA 2 pixels at a time. And then you can do that at, well, 133 megahertz divided by 2. So it's 60, basically 65 divided by 2. So that would be a 32 megahertz dot clock, I guess you'd call it. So you could, like this only does 30 frames a second, which sucks. It could probably do 60 if I did more double buffering, but I never did. So with the DMA 8-bit parallel load LCD screen, you can get way better frame rates. And it also takes up less time because you're doing it in 8-bit chunks. Yeah, so you could make a much higher performance graphics engine with it. So that's what I was working on, but that was on my desktop. But thankfully, the important stuff, you know, like work projects, that was all like somewhere other than the desktop. Although I did find I had like at least 2 or 3 different backups of that computer, like all the C drive stuff. So I had plenty of backups, except for the stuff I was working on like in June, because that computer died in August, but whatever. Subway has almost okay deals again. I personally prefer Melio's. There's actually like 2 Subways very near to me, but I never go to them because for the price, I would rather get. Well, you can go to Melio's if you just get a sub. I usually get the number 13. It's under $9, but it's actually a really high quality sub. And they, if you've never been to Melio's, they Native American out. It's like making a canoe, like an ancient canoe where they make it out of a tree, you know. So they take the bread and they actually scoop out the core, so you're not eating like 80% bread. So it's almost like it's more like a submarine where there's like a bread tube and then all the filling inside of it. I like it, and they have like alfalfa sprouts and stuff. It's pretty good. $23 for a foot long? Well, then again, in Canada, $23 is like $5 American. I know it's not that bad. Yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. Yeah, I guess we'll see you in a week. And I was thinking, if I don't have any controller orders next week, maybe we could do like some Atari 8-bit basic programming or something. And then I was thinking the charity stream would be the last Sunday before New Year's. So like, what is that, the 28th? So yeah, we'll see what we do for that. Yeah, we're doing one more Game Badge 3 workshop at MGC, and then hopefully in 2025 I have time to make Game Badge 4, which I was just describing. All right, I gotta take a leak, so I'm gonna let you all go. But thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll talk to you next time.